Anna realizes Valentin is setting her up. Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel, General Hospital Update. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Cody and Sasha's moment of passion is interrupted. Anna realizes she's being set up by, spoiler, General Hospital. Scott finds a way to help Heather. Sam and Carly clash over Jason. And Anna and Valentin make a dinner date. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. The good, the bad, and the radioactively ridiculous. It's the best and worst of 2024 so far. PHOTOS. Sasha finds Cody out by the Quartermain boathouse. As it turns out, neither can sleep. Sasha says maybe it's the crickets, maybe it's Willow's party she's still amped up from, or maybe it's him. She says he's been on her mind, and she has been thinking about his smile and how sad it seems sometimes. She notes not all the time, just after James leaves his writing lessons, after he's done being grilled by Leo, or tonight after Willow's party. He's all smiles until he gets a breather. Then he seems lonely. She thinks it's because he's surrounded by families, but he doesn't have one, except the one he belongs to, but they don't know. Cody admits part of him wants to come clean with Mac. She asks what's stopping him. He says Mac's still out of town, and he doesn't know how. He explains he lied to keep himself from getting arrested for trying to defraud someone. Sasha says, worst case scenario, they are disappointed and angry, but how long does he think that would last? Cody doesn't want to find out. And as long as Mac's away, he doesn't have to decide what to do. He knows that makes him a coward. Sasha suggests sometimes they get comfortable in their own discomfort, living without what they are missing, even though it's what they need. He asks how to move forward. She says to try something new. Cody asks how she knew he was here. Sasha checked his room, but he wasn't there, so she thought he would come here. He asks why she went to his room. She says he's not the only one who is lonely, and maybe she wants to try something new too. They kiss passionately. They make their way into the boathouse, fall on a cot, and begin to kiss. Suddenly they are interrupted by Gio, who is on the docks practicing. Cody can't believe he picked here to practice. Sasha assumes he didn't want to wake people up in the house. He wonders if they could go ask Gio to leave, but she says they are staff and he's family. Cody says he thought they were finally going to. She says that was the plan, and now Brooklyn's cousin is 20 feet from them. They snuggle and listen to him play, and Sasha says it's actually pretty nice, a romantic private concert just for them. Valentin meets Anna at her place for some drinks. He apologizes for being called out of town on ELQ business right before their dinner date, but she says business is business. He asks her for a make-up dinner. She isn't sure he's able to really balance a personal life with his business life. Valentin insists after Charlotte, she'll always come first, even above business. Anna says they both know this didn't work before, so she's wondering if this is wise. He says he doesn't know, but he wouldn't change it, and pulls her into a kiss. Valentin says he's going to make her dinner tomorrow at his place, and he'll see her then. He says he needs to go, but she says she didn't say yes. He notes he likes his chances. At the warehouse, Kate arrives and tells Jason he's a free man because he knows Anna is running Pikeman, and he has proof. He has private emails between Anna and Jack Brennan going back 5 years. Jason says if he can shut Pikeman down, he doesn't need him anymore. Kate says the emails are circumstantial, and they don't mention Pikeman, just meetings. However, he has realized Anna has been obstructing him at every turn, keeping him away from real evidence and throwing him off her trail. He needs Jason to get him proof of a connection between Anna, Brennan, and Pikeman. Jason agrees, if only to be done with him. Kate reminds him that if he warns Anna, and she covers her tracks, then Carly goes to prison. Jason goes to see Anna at her apartment and warns her that Kate's came to see him, and he thinks she's running Pikeman with Brennan. Anna says Brennan warned her of this. Jason asks if she and Brennan have stayed in contact, and she says she's barely seen him in years. Jason informs her that Kate's claims to have emails between them going back 5 years. Anna hasn't been in contact with him and says this screams of WSB tactics to plant emails to make someone look guilty. Anna realizes Valentin did this, and Jason says, he's framing you. Anna asked about the details of the emails, and Jason says Kate's mentioned it was just a lot of talk, but no hard evidence. Anna says Kate doesn't have a case against her, and Valentin is using her as a decoy. Jason thinks she's making excuses. Anna's not. She says Valentin loves her, and he won't send her to prison. However, he's using her to throw Kate off his trail. Jason says it sounds like she respects him, but Anna likes outmaneuvering him. Jason reminds her that Kate is still a real problem, and he's running out of time. Anna in turn reminds him they don't have the evidence yet to prove Valentin is running pikemen, but she will get it when she has dinner with him tomorrow. Then they'll give it to Kate, and he will get his life back. Jason clarifies that he will take out Valentin himself before he lets Kate hurt Carly. At the Metro Court, Sam meets up with Carly after the party is over. Sam says she's sorry to miss the party. She needed to be there for Danny in case he needed her, as he's been going through some stuff. However, she has come to ask Carly to help her son. Carly assumes this has something to do with Jason. Sam worries that Jason could be a danger to Danny, which Carly doesn't believe to be true. Sam explains Danny found Jason with his gunshot wound right after he came back. Danny helped him, and Jason asked him not to tell her. Carly understands why she's upset, and she would be upset if it were anyone else but Jason. Sam says Jason is a danger junkie and is the last person who could be trusted with Danny's safety. Carly argues Jason would take a bullet for any of them, and he has. Sam says that when it comes to Jason, they are always in the line of fire, and that's the problem. Sam knows Carly feels differently, but her fears are valid too. Sam asks Carly to ask Jason to keep his distance from Danny. Carly says she doesn't know Danny well, but he adores Jason and is just like him. Sam says that's the problem. Danny doesn't know how dangerous Jason is, and he wants to be just like him, which is the worst thing that can happen to him. Sam says as a parent it's Jason's job to protect Danny, and she can't get that through to him, so it has to be Carly who does. Carly rants that she's asking her to break Jason's heart along with Danny's. Sam thinks it's best to do it now that he has just gotten back and before they get attached. Carly says if she didn't want Jason to be her kid's father, then why make such a big deal about having a baby with him? She says she wanted that baby. Jason had her same concerns but gave in, so now she doesn't get to change her mind now. Sam says she was in love with Jason, but she grew up. She also says Jason didn't turn out to be the man she thought he was. He disappeared on them twice. Carly believes she's doing this to punish Jason. Sam swears she's not doing that. She's trying to keep her kids safe. Carly says Jason didn't choose to leave. The first time he was shot and taken from them, and the second time. Sam says she knows that, but she doesn't want her son to end up dead like Morgan. Carly says that's not what this is about. This is about her wanting to punish Jason because he wouldn't change for her. Sam says she shouldn't have come to her because she doesn't want Jason to change. Otherwise, he might stop putting her first. She says if anything happens to Danny, she's as much to blame as Jason. Scott and Lucy meet at Bobby's for pie and coffee. Lucy vents about Natalia revising Blaze's contract for the umpteenth time. Lucy also thinks Scott is loving this, as it adds to the billable business hours. He says working with her is enough for him. She asks if that means he's not going to charge her, but he won't go that far. Lucy thinks the reason Natalia bothers her is she's so damn smart and focused on getting every advantage and opportunity for her daughter. As she continues to rant, Scott searches his phone and says, "I just found something that may work." Lucy tells him not to keep her in suspense and what he's come up with to solve all her problems. Scott says he's actually been working on Heather's case. Lucy fumes and says none of these hours will be billable to deception, and he will pay for the pie and coffee. He says fine and wants to get back to Heather, as her case has mitigating circumstances. She yells now, he sounds like Laura. Scott says this cobalt poisoning is real, and there are documented cases. There is proof this poisoning has affected people's behavior, and if he can convince a jury that this made Heather so violent. Lucy asks what? She'll get a new trial. She'll get released to what? Kill again. Scott says this could mean a lot of money for Heather. He says this is a product liability case and that the company could be responsible for her behavior. Lucy says, so Heather may be entitled to compensation. Scott says she is, and it turns out she may not have been in her right mind because of this poisoning. Lucy notes Heather's never been in her right mind, and he has a soft for her because of Franco. She says Franco was found to have a tumor, so he wasn't held accountable for his crimes, and he became a different person after it was removed. However, before Heather's stint as the Hook, Heather did commit murder. Scott admits she did a lot of horrible things in the day and had a lot of half-baked ideas, kind of like Lucy back then. Lucy is appalled and admits Heather was of help getting her and Franco out of Ferncliff that one time, but she's never killed anyone nor switched or stolen anyone's babies. Scott asks her to think about this. If she got a hip replacement and it poisoned her and made her do weird stuff, would she want to be locked up for it? Lucy suggests perhaps this cobalt poisoning only brought out the real underlying Heather, and she also points out how unfair it would be to Heather's victims if she went free. He says they aren't talking about Heather going free. Lucy asks what about the person who murdered Franco? What if he'd had a medical condition? Would Scott want them to go free? He realizes she has a point. She knows he loves seeing dollar signs, but he needs to steer clear of this one. On the next General Hospital, at the pool, Josh is surprised by Gio, who is worried he's taking advantage of Sonny. Georgie opens the door and screams, "Mom, look!" Spinelli and Maxie are surprised. In the stables, Cody isn't sure he can walk it back in her riding gear. Tracy says, "I think you inspired me." At the hospital, TJ tells Felicia that she's thought of everything. Diane hands Alexis an envelope that contains her future inside. Chase tells Brooke Lynn he knows who to talk to. Sonny is happy to run into someone at the Metro Court pool. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel.